Ladies on the floor!
Here's some info that may come as a surprise. Sometimes we like to dance with just us guys.
Hello everyone, I'm Sean Sparks.
And I'm Mikey Gross, and we're Wootzor Games.
Today we are reviewing Roborally, which is published by Avalon Hill and designed for 2 to 8 players, ages 12 and up. Hopefully you had a chance to review our playtest. You can either find it on our YouTube channel, or hopefully there's a link somewhere in this vicinity that will take you to that playtest. So, let me tell you what my thoughts are on this game. First of all, how it plays. You know, you set up these boards, there's a bunch of scenarios, and you know, there's a level of difficulty that you can choose. Easy, I think medium, and hard. I believe we chose easy for our demo, but because we don't know what we're doing. We were noobs at the game, for most of us were. Yeah, basically you get a robot and you place it on this board, and you have to capture a certain amount of flags, and you move around by plotting out your moves by placing cards, and you place 5 cards. And you flip those cards, and your robots move around. They can crash into each other, they can land on conveyor belts, and all kind of chaos can happen. You know, lasers, they shoot lasers at each other. There's lasers on the board. There's things that can bump you. Other droids can bump you, and it just becomes complete chaos. But that's what this game is about. It's like the TV shows, and I think it mimics it well, the TV shows that have these robots where they go out and just destroy everything in an arena of destruction. And that's what this game mimics that really well. You know, and you never know what's going to go on. I mean, the chaos is just unbelievable. You know, you take one wrong card, one wrong turn on a conveyor belt, and that's it. You don't know where you're going. So that part of it for me is a lot of fun. And the object of the game is to capture all the flags in order. I think that's important to say.
Yes, it is.
And say it loudly, in order that you capture them. You capture them by basically ending one of your phases of your, you know, your program there on one of the flags. And once you do that, you win. But of course, you can also, you know, be destroyed. You have a certain amount of, I guess you want to call hit points, and you know, you can be destroyed. And once you've been destroyed 3 times, you're out of the game. But let me share with you now my likes and dislikes for this game, my pros and cons. Let me tell you, usually I don't like games that have any sort of time limit. You know, I get jittery, I'm nervous, you know, and I feel like I'm rushing, and I don't generally like that. This game has a time clock, but it's only for the last player. So once everyone, like an example, in a 4-player game, once the 3 of the players have programmed their droid, I'm sorry, I can't use that term, robot, you know, you then, that 4th person is then timed. You've got 30 seconds to finish out programming your robot, or, you know, it gets randomly programmed for you by the other players. I like that. Normally I would never like that in a game. But I like it in this one. It seems like it works for the chaos that this game is supposed to cause. And that's another chaos that, you know, sends you into panic mode when you haven't programmed your robot.
And you're on the timer.
Right, you're on the clock, buddy. Let's go. So the pieces are very cool. The artwork, Avalon Hill always does a great job with their artwork and their pieces. I mean, they're one of the best companies, and that's no exception for this game either. Sometimes I think playing in the order of the cards, they have a like an initiative value, number value, that the highest one goes first. That sometimes I think can bog down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's not always necessary unless there's going to be consequences of your movement. And if there is, then you need to abide by those rules, you know, the initiative order. Otherwise, I don't really think it's necessary. I don't know if that's a pro or a con, but you can definitely speed the game up by getting rid of those numerical values and only using them when you need to. I also, you know, one of the things I talk about a lot with games is the customization factor. And I think this, you could actually customize some rules and maybe do some different things with it. Not a whole lot, but you could do some with it. But the gameplay is fine the way it is. Sometimes there's little gears on the board that rotate you 90 degrees in a certain left or right direction. When your droid is sitting on those, you can actually not see it and forget about it. I think there was a couple times maybe in my play demo I forgot, or somebody may have forgot, or we almost forgot.
Yeah.
Because your droid covers up that gear completely, it might be best to have little markers or tokens or beads just to set next to that. Just as a reminder, not a big deal, but it, I mean, it's important to make sure you're playing the game properly.
Right.
Probably my biggest con, if I have a big con for this game, right here on the box, right down here in the bottom, it says 30 minutes plus. Okay, the plus, yes. 30 minutes, no way. I mean, even a 2-player game on easy, I don't think you could finish this in 30 minutes. I mean, we had a 4-player game, every bit 2 hours. Now it's edited down, but it took us maybe 2.5 hours.
2.5, yeah.
Okay, so and we're pretty experienced gamers, and we moved pretty quick. I felt like we did. So 30 minutes plus, I don't think you could play a game in 30 minutes. I think any game's going to last an hour. So that would be kind of a con for me. But it doesn't bother me that the game goes longer than its playtime. But I just wish the box would sometimes, convey that to people, because that might affect other people. Bottom line, though, the game is, the best way I can put it, it's strategic chaos.
Yeah.
You do your best and let the cards fall where they may. So basically my review for this is going to be, because I like it so much, because I think it's funny, it made me laugh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10, okay.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of the same pros. I mean, it's a very quick, the game turns themselves are quick. You just are so many turns you're playing. I think, though, it was a hilarious game. There was 2 turns in a row where all I did was spin around in a circle shooting my lasers at our friend Jay, who just kept getting hit because he was doing the same thing. After a few turns, though, I really started to get into it. I really started to get that, what I think you need to have for this game, spatial awareness. You need to be able to see your play. You need to be able to see a few turns in advance, what you're going to do in your next 5 turns. You got to kind of be able to plan that, but you also have to do that at the same amount of time everyone else is slapping down cards, and you might get hit with the timer to say you have to pick all your cards in 30 seconds.
Right.
I think that was a very good aspect of the game. What I also felt was a lot of fun is realistic damage. Obviously, it's a board game. Obviously, they're robots, but I felt, as your robot started taking more damage, some of the cards you pick later on your turn, they get locked into its programming for good. So every turn you can move forward a few squares, but you're so damaged that immediately you start spin right, and then back up, based on whatever was in at the time. You have options to power down, regain hit points, but you're leaving yourself really vulnerable. A couple of times that happened and one person just got hammered. A con, which I kind of think is a pro as well, is, like I said, you got to pick quickly. If you don't pick quickly, your opponents are going to pick for you, and they're just going to pull random cards out of your hand. That didn't happen to us because we were so nervous about that happening. I think a couple of times the same person will always seem to be last. They just felt like they just started slapping down cards so that they wouldn't get picked for them. Personally, I'm going to give this game an 8.0, which is still very high on my personal scale. And this is a game I'm going to be looking for to add to my personal collection. I enjoyed it that much. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's something I can take over to my family, and we can play together, Just pull everybody in. It's not going to be quick, but it's going to be fun. They're going to have fun. People are going to be, playing turns. I mean, I don't think I've laughed that much in a board game in a long time.
Right. And just so we know, you can pick this game up in that $30 to $40 range still. I'm not even sure if it's still in print. I'm not 100% on that. I could be wrong. But I know it doesn't sell for a whole lot of money. I like it. And the time thing it is. It really makes sure it doesn't let the game get too bogged down in its mechanics. Because I think without that timer, you really could. The game could really bog down. We already discussed it can be bogged down enough.
Yeah.
Because you hit on something that I didn't mention that you really, I thought, brought to light was it takes a good 4, 5, 6, 7 turns before you finally grasp, okay, I kind of get how to move my robot now. Because at first, you just don't know what's going on. Yeah.
And shooting lasers all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, he brought out Boba Fett. Okay. The Boba Fett gun. So, that's our review. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thanks.
I threw it on the ground. You must think I'm a joke.